So I was going to get you here. I was going to have us eating pancakes.
On Pancake Tuesday.
On Pancake Tuesday. Ask me what's my favourite day of the year. As in like...
Christmas.
No, it's not. I'm the Grinch. I'm a Grinch.
Boston beating Philly every year.
Tired, mate. Anyway.
Up and about.
Not that I'm for like made up bullshit, which I'm not at all. But
You love made up pancakes.
I love pancakes.
Pancakes is shit.
And I asked you before today because I was going to have us right this second. We would have been cutting into pancakes for our little opening thing now.
They're just not that good.
What pancakes have you had that aren't that good?
A lot.
Have you had like... Okay, so you might like cringe or whatever, but have you had pancake parlor pancakes?
Yeah, they're no good.
They're the fucking best.
Do you know what people like about pancakes? The fucking maple syrup on top. That's where the good bit is. Well, you make pancakes home, everyone has lemon and sugar. Or ice cream. Like, no one enjoys the pancake part of pancakes. Pancakes are so overrated.
But there's many foods like that. You have a bowl of pasta without the sauce?
No one says they like pasta. Well, I mean, people do say that. But like, it's the flavor. It's the flavor. Like, people prefer pesto than they do fucking spaghetti or penne.
As in, what? Pesto what? No, I'm talking... What? Like, yeah.
Pesto, like, they like the sauce of pasta.
It's funny that you went straight to pesto instead of red sauce.
Pesto is fucking beautiful, mate.
Yeah, but red sauce is bread and butter. is the textbook of pasta.
It's... Pasta is a vehicle to deliver flavouring.
Yeah.
And pancakes are the same thing. It's not a good dessert if that just essentially
I do understand, actually.
carries the flavour to you.
I do understand. I'm with you. But at the same time, there's some foods that are just like that. Like pasta. Like people, and we argue a lot, but people, and I don't like saying this, but if I did a poll, is pasta a good food? Everyone's going to say yes.
But everyone also knows pasta by itself is just no one's going to eat that.
I know, but same goes with pancakes. So if you
no
can
good.
say yes for pasta, you can say yes for pancakes.
I just don't care for them.
Ah.
I don't like maple syrup that much, golden syrup, whatever you put on it. Butter.
So you've had like crepes, pancakes, flapjacks, all them.
I prefer crepes.
See, that's the first wrong.
But I don't care for them.
Crepes.
I prefer, if I'm going to have something sweet, I prefer something good.
Like what? Like
just give me some chocolate.
But what's a sweet breakfast? Other than cereal.
You don't want sweet breakfast.
No, but if you do, if you're having a sweet breakfast,
I don't have sweet breakfast. There's your issue. You don't want. It's not even breakfast. It's fucking dessert. Just Americans eat it for breakfast because they've got so many issues.
Anyway, pancakes.
Their cereal is just sugar.
Pancakes is a top 5.
Their
food.
bread is sugar.
Pancakes is top 5.
Thanks
food.
to our American viewers. We love your work, but cut the sugar a little bit.
I keep saying pancakes is a top 5 food.
Fuck.
It's a top 5 food. I don't know my official rankings, but steak, pancakes, and peanut butter are all in the top 5.
How do you have your steak done?
Medium rare. How do you have it?
Rare.
I can have rare.
Yeah.
I'm rare, medium rare.
Yeah,
I'm not medium rare, medium. I'm medium rare. And you know what? Talking about sauces and foods and things that have to go with them, I don't like sauce on my steak. And
good steak doesn't need anything.
That's right. And I don't like when people need sauce on their steak.
Fucking the pepper bullshit.
Yeah. Or like a cream sauce or a mushroom sauce. I'd rather drink the sauce on the side and then have this. Because the steak, it's not actually blood.
Well salted?
Yes. Very well salted. Yeah.
Rare, medium rare.
It's like one of the only things we agree on.
Who would have thought?
When he's sticking you and taking all your money.
Welcome to the Bronx Shear Basketball Show. I'm your host, Nathan Callanan, and I'm joined by my co-host, Jack Lynch. As always, Jack, I complimented you on your jacket before the show.
It's not bad.
Let me throw one out again. I might have said it before. Green's my favourite colour. I'm always...
It puts you in a predicament, doesn't it?
Yeah, I'm so dirty because...
Our green uniform, is that number 1 in the league for you?
If you know what? If it had more like accents, like dark black accents, like around the writing or something like that, maybe.
I'm a traditionalist.
But the colour... Like, if I had to choose one team because of the colour, it would be the Celtics. But your jerseys could get a tiny bit better.
That's where you're wrong. You're wrong about everything. Shouldn't ask you your opinion.
Anyway, I do love that jacket. my favorite color combination is black and green. And wow, that's show it off. Show the. I mean, you already did, but show the.
Look at that.
All our listeners, head to YouTube, check that out.
I'll have to wear the matching trackies next week.
That's it, mate. I love it. I hate that I love it. Anyway, I do hate the Lakers more than I hate the Celtics, so that works.
Yeah,
a little bit.
I feel like you should.
Anyway, let me just get the formalities out of the way. If you're new to the show, hit that subscribe button, that notifications bell.
You should do the point that YouTubers do.
The point?
Yeah, you know, like, click here.
Well, you know what? I've got to be self-conscious about that because I do the point on the football show, and I always do this because it's over there. It's where I'm pointing right now is where it's going to be. And Aaron over on the football show, he mocks me. He goes like this while I'm doing it. Good old ass. You'll see him on Friday night. We're all going to a party.
A Bronx party.
I was gonna,
official work party.
I was going to say a Bronx party, but it's not a work.
The five of us.
Yeah. When was the last time you saw Aiden Fackery?
Your birthday.
Oh, yeah.
Who would have thought?
Who would have thought? Anyway, there will be Bronx parties in the future with all our interns that we don't pay.
What about your full-timers?
Anyway, make sure you hit the subscribe button and the notifications bell it's on YouTube, and follow, subscribe on the audio apps, and give us a 5-star rating on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. JL, I want to, because it was a while before we spoke last week, so there's still some things that I just want to get off my chest from last week, but we've also got a bit to talk about today, and then we'll get into our segment later on, which is going to be top 10 current point guards, which was a tough one for
Which
us.
I fucking hate you for.
Yeah, of course. Anyway, so a bit of last week that I didn't mention, and this sort of goes to you, but it goes to a lot of people. Let me just start off with, everyone should write a public United Nations apology to Daryl Morey, the GOAT. The GOAT of all GMs, the GOAT of all humans, when you think about it. I've been dying. I'm going to print my own T-shirt, but I need someone to Photoshop Daryl Morey's head on like Jesus in like a painting style, because that's how I see him. Remember when you and everyone, it wasn't just you, but remember when everyone was like, he's asking too high. He's got to take.
He was asking too high. He lucked out more than anyone you've ever seen.
Well, let me continue. So he was asking too high. He's got to take this. He should just accept a bag of Doritos and some toenails, right, for Ben Simmons. And then I got to admit, I'm not going to lie, I don't know if I said it on the pod, but I was starting to come around. I'm like, we can't waste a season of Joel's prime. It was like the most cliche dialogue from a lot of Sixers fans, but MVP'd was playing so well. Even I started saying we got to trade, but I didn't know what. I still didn't know. I was getting ready to accept we're not going to do it, because the better option was to not do it, because I didn't think we're going to get much. We're going to get the toenails, as I said.
And the chips.
And the Doritos. What's your favourite Doritos?
Nacho cheese, not cheese supreme.
Yellow.
Yeah, yellow.
Have you had Mexicana?
Yeah, they're good, but they're not around they're not around enough to warrant being a favourite. It's a rarity.
I respect that. Yeah. I respect that.
When they're there, you bet that I'm buying.
Yeah. All right. I like that a lot. Yeah. All right. Anyway, I've got the exact same. I could have said the exact same words about
cheese supreme. Too much.
I will have them though.
I won't not eat.
That's
them,
right.
But I'm not going to buy them.
Yeah. No, I will have them. Australian flavours for all our non-Australian people. They're
cool ranch.
Different flavours around the world. Anyway, so back to the actual trade, Daryl Morey, Ben Simmons, James Harden. Daryl Morey said the whole time for 9 months or whatever it was, we are not trading Ben unless we get a difference maker. We got offered, apparently some Pacers players. We got offered Harrison Barnes and Buddy Hield.
Should have taken that one.
Yeah.
Harrison Barnes would have been great as a Boston fan.
Anyway, as a Boston fan,
I would have loved that. That's a difference maker I wanted to see. When he's shooting 6 for 39 in a finals.
And Daryl Morey waited it out. Look, he may have tampered. Let's be real. That's why the Sixers were getting some serious investigations, or people were calling for investigations at least. But he waited it out, And sometimes, and a lot of times in the NBA, what on average do you reckon a top 12 NBA player of recent years is disgruntled? How often? I would say it's at least a year and it's an 18 months once every 18 months. Is it not?
Every second season, yes.
Yeah.
Once every 18 months.
Someone wants to go, or if they're not wanting to go, they just go in free agency. And so, you know what? Looking back on it, we're all worrisome. But Daryl Morey played it like a fucking god. And now we have James Harden. And do you want me to keep going about his first 2 games?
Do you realise how lucky you got?
Yeah,
Like,
not on the 18-month pattern of stars.
tell you what, I
wanting out.
can't wait. I was feeling this the other day. If Philly, for example, win, if they win a championship, maybe 2. And I shouldn't say that.
Don't say those words.
Clean your shorts after this. There's going to be like a 30 for 30. And it's going to backtrack. And it's going to keep going. And LeBron beating the Warriors in 2016 led to Kevin Durant making the ultimate bitch move and going to the Warriors. Him receiving no credit for it. He's pissed off, so he runs away to Brooklyn with whoever's going to team up with him.
Yeah.
The only player that is out of contract where it works is Kyrie. They get him. Harden's pissed off in Houston because they've got Russell Westbrook. He wants out. There was time. Houston didn't work. Perfect opportunity of when there's 2 superstars. He goes there. Kyrie's anti-vax. There's so many dominoes that fell to lead to this point that you never would have expected.
Yeah.
And
here we are.
So every time you've criticised KD for being a bitch and going to the Warriors, look what he's got you.
I do talk KD up enough though. So, but anyway, and when I inboxed you and I was bragging about this the other day, and I'm sure you're either busy at work or just didn't want to see my messages on the phone.
I've got you on Do Not Disturb.
Yeah, I know you did. And then anyway,
I've blocked your number.
And then you replied, reluctantly, and you were just saying, "Didn't you say that Harden is the worst player to watch in the league?" I'm going to come out. I'm not going to go back and watch the old pods if I did say that. I'm going to come out and say,
do you reckon we have a single fan that would be dedicated enough to do so?
I want one of those fans in the future. If you are one of those fans, let us know in the comments and go find it, because I've always wanted. That's the one type of fan I've wanted.
Yeah.
The type of fan that is so dedicated.
That calls you out on your shit.
Yeah.
I don't want anyone to realise how much of hypocrites we are.
I said to JL here in our inbox that, mate, I'll be that guy. In this scenario, I've never been a James Harden hater. I know of James Harden haters.
Yeah.
I've always appreciated, apart from everything, and this is one thing you and I have actually agreed on, a lot of people don't see how strong he is, and that leads to a lot of his, he's crafty, this, that, but a lot of players are crafty, but his strength, I think that's your next level, your look past things with Harden. I've always appreciated Harden's. I've slammed him for his playoff performances, and we're yet to see. I will admit that we're yet to see that. However, James Harden's not the best player in Philly. He's not.
Tyrese Maxey.
He's the third best player. Let me just say a statement into the microphone that is so satisfying for me and my blood. Tobias Harris is our 4th best player. Do you know how good that is? That makes us a great team. But it's like we no longer need him. He's on an expiring as of next year. How quick has that gone?
Do you know how lucky you are that
we got Daryl Morey? No,
Maxey as well is outperforming his salary because that sort of negates Harris. If you average them out, you're probably paying the right amount for the 2 of them.
You talked about the 30 for 30. I know you might not be aware of this because only Sixers diehards are, but another person who will be in the 30 for 30 is Mike Muscala in the bubble. Basically, we had this pick swap from ages ago. I can't remember it. And James Ennis. And there was all this with OKC.
Is that how you got Maxey?
And then Chris Paul went to OKC in one of their tank years. And hold on. Things not going well for that pick for them. Anyway, Chris Paul and Mike Muscala hit the dagger of whatever game that was in the bubble. It solidified OKC as 6th. Or what were they? 6th or something like that. And then it was a 3-way tie actually in the lottery of the balls or whatever for the draft. And we got the best out of all of them. We got pick 20 or 21. We got Maxi. We shouldn't have been anywhere near 21.
God, I hate the NBA.
Thank you, Mike Muscala. Used to be a Sixer.
Probably says Sixer.
Yeah. Oh,
just after.
nah, just after. But anyway, so that's...
Losing to Boston in the
That's
second
so
round.
much
Sixer.
rambling. Here's your opportunity to say into the camera, Daryl Morey, I am sorry.
Can't do it. I can't do it.
All right, at least say that pancakes are a top 5 food. You got a choice, one of those two.
I'm not lying to the camera.
Daryl.
I'm not lying to the camera.
All right.
I have, as a part of the media, it's my... it's on me to report nothing but the truth.
Yeah.
And to give my honest opinion.
Mm.
And I can't tell lies.
Well, anyway, so Daryl Morey, I love him so much. I love him so much. It is so...
And the whole Colangelo thing with the fucking burners. Like, another step in this domino.
Like, you can't deny, it's not just me saying it as a Sixers fan. The Philadelphia 76ers, pretty much since I started following the NBA in 2012, has been maybe the most dramatic team in all of sports.
Always something going on. You just...
Fultz, Simmons, Colangelo. What else was there?
His colours aren't that big. Find a new slam.
Yeah. Fultz, Simmons, Colangelo,
the whole Alton Brand thing.
The injuries, everything. There's more.
Okafor.
Yeah, Okafor.
No one's Noel.
Noel.
Not that they had
There's
anything.
more.
They're
There's
just
more
shit.
that I can't even think of. But it's just been
relentless.
It's just been unbelievable.
The confetti game?
Oh, not the confetti game. Don't say that. And now we're just at this point where we really, really are. Joel's, if I've said this last week, if we don't make it out of the second round again, it's truly Doc's fault now. Sorry. Unless Harden and Embiid blow it. But if they don't blow it, and you can see it's got something to do with, like, you can't, you know it's coach's fault when you can't really see it just in play, you know what I'm saying, in individual play. And even in play, sometimes just things like rotations. Like the tactics might be good, but the rotations are bad. And Doc is
Imagine if you guys have a first round exit. The NBA world will explode.
Oh, man. Anyway, I've been rambling way too long.
As soon as you mentioned Philly, just
too long about the Sixers. But anyway, I just wanted to say that Daryl Morey, you are a fucking legend. That was brilliant. He was playing chess and everyone else was playing checkers. He just knew that someone was going to ask out.
Move on, mate. Move on.
Anyway. One other thing I wanted to mention that we didn't get to mention last week. It's over All-Star break. And let's lead this into some Lakers talk. Some brief stuff. But LeBron James basically used the whole of All-Star weekend in his hometown to recruit himself back onto the Cavs or onto OKC.
Yeah.
So for those that missed it, he was basically just praising Sam Presti. He's not going to go to OKC other than the Bronny James situation.
Yeah.
Did we talk about this last week?
No. I don't think
Someone was talking to me about how it's such a possibility that he might go to OKC. Who the hell was I talking about?
I mean, it is possible because they've got so many picks they can just
I think it was
trade up.
I think it was my cousin. Shout out Dalton. He was trying to tell me that anyone would take LeBron. And apart from jersey sales and making money, I don't think anyone would take LeBron
if he's still
in 2024.
as good as he is this year, which he won't be. He'll decline slightly. But he's averaging 29 points per game at the moment.
Yeah.
If he's sitting at 26, 6 and 6, it'd be fucking stupid not to take him. Especially if you get him on a minimum contract. Like, that's the thing.
Any team, though? So, like...
Any team would take him. Like, there's no situation where he's going to be a net negative. Unless if his career pans out that way. If he's obviously much older and slower, then of
so
course,
like in 2024, say just they don't even want to, but just say the Grizzlies.
Yeah.
No. Like, we can't imagine for then. Let's like plug a team from here to then.
Yeah.
The Grizzlies of now or the Cavs of now.
Young
more
team
so the Grizzlies. You know what I'm saying?
On the cusp of playoffs.
You know, you shouldn't really put an old
Yeah.
dead wood in their way. Not that he'll be dead wood per se, but you know what I'm saying.
He's the perfect fit for them right now.
You shouldn't even put Jar shoots, but he doesn't shoot. You know what I'm saying?
But like, so if LeBron's got to this point in his career where he's like, all right, I'm just going to play with my son. I'm 40, fucking whatever I am old.
He's going to be like 40.
Yeah.
Or 39.
And say the year prior he averages 26, 6 and 6, right? And then that year, hypothetically, if he played in full, he might average 24, 4 and 4. Just for,
Yeah.
You could play him at the power forward.
Mm.
Doesn't need the ball in his hands all that much. And be like, mate, you want to play here, that's fine, vet minimum, but we're still running this machine.
I can't think of the perfect scenario.
If he's willing to take a minimum contract just to play with his son, I don't think he's going to want to... He's going to be happy at that point. I think that's...
He's going to take the minimum, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm even talking the minimum. I just think, like, for play, I just feel like there's some situations
He'd
that...
fit in any team. And, like, if
that
you
wouldn't
get...
want him.
Imagine, like, Jar with LeBron in his ear telling him how to win.
Yeah.
LeBron breaks down defensive teams like you've never seen before. It'd be fantastic.
Yeah. Okay, maybe, but I can't think of the perfect scenario, but you know what I'm saying. I just think there's a lot of...
He's going back to Cleveland.
Well, what? No. See, I can't imagine one of these up and coming teams taking him. But anyway, any of this Lakers, LeBron going stuff like to talk about or nah? His contract is done at the end of next season.
Yeah, they're fucked at the moment.
They
Can't trade anyone in.
Did you see their loss to Pelicans yesterday?
Yeah, just...
Oh.
And LeBron's still playing well. There's nothing they can do. No. They're just stuck. The Lakers aren't going to trade LeBron or AD, but I think
Some people are calling for that.
I know, but I think that would be the smartest thing for them to do if they were as a franchise. But
for the Lakers, yes.
Yeah, it's for the Lakers. But the issue is the Lakers always have and always will rely on players wanting to come to the Lakers.
That's right.
And if you trade away LeBron and AD, I think they know their franchise has been shit for the last little while before Kobe retired.
Yep.
They lucked out that LeBron wanted to go there. If they traded LeBron, I think the damage that would do for forcing, even just making free agents second guess about going there, I don't think it'd be worthwhile for them.
Yeah.
So they might just have to wait 2 years and finish maybe 8th.
I can't wait for them to be shit again. I'm so excited for it. I hate when they're good. But yeah, there's not much to say. But yeah,
AD's still out.
For another 4 to 5 weeks. Woj reports they might not make the playoffs.
Yeah,
like even if they get in the playing game, some people are starting to get the rumblings going. Can they even beat someone in a playing game?
I still think they could.
Like who right now? Like who are those teams? Right? Oh, bro, Jar today. Oh my god! Did you see that shot he did?
Before halftime?
Yeah.
Oh my
and
the dunk he had on, was it Purtle?
Yeah.
Have you been playing Purtle?
What?
You know Wordle that everyone's obsessed with?
Yeah.
There's Purtle.
You always know like
and
these little things.
The NBA equivalent, and you guess a player and it tells you what division they're if they've got the right division. It's very fun.
We should do that. Maybe
fun.
we'll do that for a bit of TikTok. Anyway, JL's on TikTok.
Biggest fan in the world.
Anyway, so the playing game teams right now.
Yeah.
Minnesota. Could they beat Minnesota? Yeah, they can beat.
I still think I'd still take LeBron in a playing game. You saw what he did last season. How many did he have? Was it 43 he had in that game? Hit the game winner.
Portland aren't going to get in it, and they're shit. Pelicans, yeah, actually, they could win a playing game unless they get the Clippers. Clippers are in there right now. Clippers are. Ty Lue is 6-0 against the Lakers.
I still think LeBron would beat
with the Clippers.
LeBron himself would beat the Clippers at this point in a playing game.
This is maybe what I'm talking. I reckon he's declined a bit more than you think.
It definitely has. The numbers are still there, but he can't dominate a game like he used to.
There's something about it. It's weird because he can still very slowly drive, and he can still shoot. But this is me talking on LeBron level, right? For his standards. but he has dropped.
I
There's
think because he
something-
has slowed down a bit, and he's still bloody quick.
Mm.
But because he's not as... His first step's not as good. He's not as powerful with the dribble going in. Defenders don't have to help so far off their man to cover him.
Yeah.
His teammates aren't getting the open looks. Like his assist numbers are the biggest drop off so far this year,
Mm.
and that's because everyone can stay a bit closer. Like that like 1 or 2 feet closer to their man.
Yeah. All right, let's get off the Lakers. They're just shit. There is no timetable for Ben Simmons' return to the Brooklyn Nets. Let me tell you a little story, JL, that was reported from a reporter. During the Nets photo shoot with Ben Simmons, the photographer asked him to do a dunk for a photo, and he pointed to his back and said, "I'm unable to." And the report is there's no timetable.
Is that what he said to Trae Young in Game 7 last year?
There's no timetable for his return because of this back soreness, which he did have in Philadelphia. Everyone was aware, so me starting off now, everyone was aware that Harden and Ben weren't coming to play before the All-Star break. Harden with his fake hamstring and Ben with his issues. That's what I'm going to say. Because there was a bit of to avoid tampering looks. If Harden just straight away came and played, what's wrong with, where was the bad hamstring? Everyone thought the same for Ben. Obviously, he's got to ramp it up. He's got to get you back used to it. Is this just... my theory now is he's trying to avoid March 10 against Philly, which is only 9 days away.
Probably.
He's trying to
he'll be
avoid...
fine after that. Just... Don't get me started.
You don't like him. This is good because now he's not on my team. You don't like him.
He's just the worst.
Mm.
Like everything about him.
Do you believe the back soreness, or you think it's like he's avoiding Philly? He's waiting that one more fortnight.
When was the last time he played?
Last season against Trae Young.
What injury did he have to his back?
Oh, well, he did have these back stuff.
Yeah, and then he played, and he was fine.
Yeah.
And then he's had 9 months of rehab.
Yeah.
And he's still injured.
Yeah.
Something seems wrong there.
Let me just say, though, so if that is not him avoiding Philly, that is huge. That is huge. I feel stupid saying it because it's wrong. He's fine.
He's fine.
It's him avoiding the Philly game, but if he's actually got an ongoing back thing, which has been going on now for more than a year, it first came about in a Milwaukee game or something like that. I don't know if it was...
If he's actually injured,
just before
Brooklyn's fucked.
I don't know if it was just before the bubble or something, but it was a Milwaukee game. He went back, and the report was he was throwing up from pain with this back thing. I think. Yes, I'm pretty sure I'm right on that. His back was the Milwaukee thing. Anyway, that's huge if it's true, and otherwise he's just avoiding Philly March 10. Bitch. Okay, so that's Ben Simmons. And all I've got left, I guess, is Markelle Fultz has returned from his ACL injury.
I love Markelle.
I know, you do.
I always... Because, I was so attached to him when he was coming to Boston. Number one pick, you beauty. And then I'm glad that Danny Ainge backed out and traded him to...
Oh, right.
The first or third and an extra pick later down the line. But I've always had a soft spot for him. And I buy the injury thing, the whatever nerve damage, 100% happened. It wasn't just a case of the yips.
Yep.
But he started playing good basketball in Orlando, no pressure, just playing good. He just worked himself into the games defensively.
Yep.
And you can still see he reads it well. He just sort of couldn't really do much with it when he tried to score, but always making the right passes. And then today, played pretty well. Only saw the highlights, but had a really nice pull-up jump shot.
Yeah.
A few middies. Just moving the ball really well. A few assists there. He's back.
He truly, even when he was in Philly, it truly was just the shooting. That was the problem.
He moves so well on the court.
Yeah, there's a reason why he's the number one pick. It's not just about
his Washington highlights. Could do everything.
Yeah. He's a very I don't know, just very crafty one of those.
But every draft since then,
yeah,
he probably would have gone number one again, except Zion.
Oh, I don't know about that. As in, sorry. Sorry, you mean and we didn't know he was gonna.
Yeah. As in,
Right.
if he was coming out of college every year
Yeah,
since then,
there's a very good chance. Yeah, he was very good in college.
I think he'd still go number one.
Yeah, yeah. Cade was very highly touted. Yeah, and he's been great. But that's it. Was there any other news? Not that I
You put down here that MPJ aiming a March return, but
yes.
there's nothing to say there. I thought you skipped it intentionally because
I can't believe I missed it. There's nothing to say, mate.
there's nothing to say. He's coming back in March.
When did I? Why did I skip that? Anyway, Michael Porter Jr. is aiming for a March return.
Yeah.
And and then another report says that Jamal Murray and Michael Porter Jr. are aiming for playoff return, if not sooner.
Mm.
I said it earlier. The Nuggets are a contender if they're all good.
I'll believe it when I see it. I just don't think MPJ is, with the history he's had.
Yeah,
I wouldn't be surprised if he does get back by March. He's on heavy minutes restrictions. Jamal Murray, on the other hand, that matters. MPJ right now, I don't think that doesn't move the needle to me.
But if they get those two back, Murray and MPJ, for the playoffs, and they're at 85% in the playoffs, which is going to be what's required, if not 90, if not 100. Are they not
Nuggets
a contender?
making noise, but I don't think MPJ is going to do anything. Not this year.
Okay.
I don't think it's smart rushing. Not like he's being rushed back, but to me, it'd be better getting a whole full season off.
I don't reckon he's
complete
been
rehab.
rushed back, because you would do that. They wouldn't do that. And the Nuggets are smart.
But if you come into March, he's going to want to go 110%.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's good for him.
Yeah.
We'll see. It depends what... the trainers will know more.
We've talked about, the injuries and all that, this stuff this year. With the sort of, the parity with the league and the openness, I've said for all this season, if they get them back... Like, you look at the West contenders... Jamal, Aaron Gordon, Jokic, and MPJ all at a good level. And Will Barton.
It's a good.
That's one of the best teams in the NBA.
I'm skeptical with MPJ at the moment.
I reckon you might be slightly skeptical on Jokic because the MVP is trumping him. All right, let's get on to this week's segment. This week's segment is... Top 10.
I was going to say, we wasted so much time then.
I always do this. Top 10 point
guards.
Point guards in the NBA currently. Top 10.
Why is that so hard to say?
Because I always get mixed up.
Top 10 point guards right now.
Top 10 point guards right now. Yeah, that's a good one. Oh, well, yeah. Yeah,
right.
Okay.
How are we going to do it? One for one? Or do you want to say it at the same time?
Nah, one for one, of course. That's more suspense. All right. Number 10, LaMelo Ball. He's too good.
Yeah.
He's too good. He's, so honourable mention I had was Garland, I think, at the end there. A bit of Shea, Gilgeous-Alexander. But for me, I know a lot of people rate Shea, but for me, LaMelo's better than Shea, and he's better than Garland at this moment. Garland might keep going up, and LaMelo's going to keep going up. So I've got at number 10, LaMelo Ball.
I have SGA. And LaMelo was close. He wasn't like 11 for me. I think in probably 12 months' time, he's probably in there. But Gilgeous-Alexander's year last year was phenomenal.
He's great now.
Slightly down this year, but like...
3 30-point games in a row, actually.
I think if you put him on Charlotte's roster, he's probably producing more than LaMelo is, I think.
I don't know.
Given the fact that there is no spacing at all on OKC right now. And he's taking about 4 defenders per game.
Yeah.
He's still an elite ISO scorer. His 3 balls not dropping at the moment, but he's just gassed at the moment. And I think just in a vacuum, I think he's more talented. He probably doesn't have the talent that LaMelo does because he's 20 years old and already an all-star. But
he seems a bit more mature than
when it comes
LaMelo.
down to this year, and this year only, I think SGA is still the better player, especially if they were both playing on the same. If you substitute him in and out, I think you prefer SGA. Just better scorer on all 3 levels. Doesn't pass it as well as LaMelo, but still moves the ball more than you need. It's like it's not like a weakness in his game.
Yep.
So that's why I'd go him.
All right. I'm sure I'll get flamed for that. My number 9 is the best defensive point guard in the league.
Marcus Smart, you put him in.
Drew Holiday. Drew Holiday is my number 9. I can't leave him out. He does his job. He's shooting like 39% from 3. Does his job on the Bucks. Won a championship. He's the best defensive point guard in the league. He's my number 9.
I'm pissed off.
Why?
We rushed this too much.
Who'd you miss?
I put him in my top 10, and then when I actually numbered them, finalised it, I left him out. And I was like, I had SGA as 11.
Okay.
And then when I recounted, I was like, oh, fuck, he must be number 10. So I've missed Drew Holiday. We always do this.
Wait, what?
So I did them down, just put them all down randomly.
Yeah.
I culled them all, and I had my top, what I thought was 10, but I actually had a top 11.
Yeah.
And then I've actually ordered them over at 1, 2, 3.
I have as well.
And I missed out on Drew Holiday when I ordered them. So he would have been in there.
What do you mean you've missed out on him? Where is he not in there?
No, I've literally not put him in.
Ah, well, do you want to take it back, him over Shea?
I would. I'd probably put him in my, probably put him 9. So it doesn't change much. So in this situation, I'm just going to slot him in at 10 over SGA.
Okay. So, now you go number...
Lucky it was 9.
You go.
That's all right.
You go number 9.
Number 9. I wouldn't have expected this guy to make it at all before this season. That's Darius Garland.
Whoa. Well, okay.
He's been phenomenal. Consistency is probably his biggest issue at the moment. Like, he's had one... Remember that game? He had 11 assists in a quarter a few weeks ago. Scoring really well. 23 and 8 for the season so far. But he's spearheading the Cavs into the playoffs at the moment. And I love that. I love this Cleveland team. But he's just controlling everything at the moment. Defensively, he's playing really well. Not a traditional big defender, much like Drew Holiday or anything like that. But good arms, gets in the passing lane. And then on offense, just does everything. He's 3 balls dropping, which was one of his biggest weaknesses when he came into the league.
Yeah.
And I know there's been talks about how he fits with Colin Sexton and things like that, but he's missing his running mate, and you can't even notice.
Yeah.
He's
course.
playing for both of them, and I think that's one of the hardest things to do in the NBA is to not only play better than expected for yourself, but to cover other weaknesses in your team. So he's picked up the scoring, picked up the passing, and he's leading that team perfectly on offense. So,
And you take him over Drew Holiday at this point?
At this point, yes.
No. Oh.
Obviously, it's tricky given the fact that Drew we don't really get to see the best of.
Yeah.
But I think Drew's in that perfect point of his career where he's a bit older now. I don't think he'd have the legs in him to lead an offense. I think he's perfect playing, like the CP3 role, the Kyle Lowry role, being the third fiddle and just doing exactly what needs to be done and nothing extra but nothing less either.
Yeah.
Whereas Garland right now is impressing me more. That's all it comes down to.
Well, talking about CP3, he's my number 8.
Wowee.
And most people might think
that's low.
That's very low.
That is low. Have you seen Phoenix at the moment?
I have.
What the fuck?
And it's a lot to do with him. And he makes his team so good. But at the same time, when making this list, I don't know what to say. I don't know. Look, I might be fully wrong, but I can't put him above anyone who comes next. There's one guy I'd love to put him above next, but I've been peer pressured to... You know who it is. I'm sick of getting hated, and I'm going to get hated even for putting him at 7. But anyway...
Do you have him at 7? Fuck. Wow. Jesus Christ.
When I just think about the point guards in the league, these guys are... Right now, they can do better things than CP. Even
Chris Paul isn't going to...
He does nothing wrong. That's what it is, right?
He's so good, though. He's the point guard.
I know, but he does nothing wrong.
Everywhere he goes, they win.
Everything's so good. Yes, he does everything. He makes you win. And I know that should be the full stop. But at the same time, I reckon there's a height to it. And if the Suns get done again in
There's
the
a hype
playoffs,
to it.
there's a height.
Oh,
There's a ceiling to it. And if the Suns get done again this year in the playoffs, even if it's in the finals, I will stick to that.
he's making the finals with a team that was
I know, but what I'm saying is
14th in the
if
West 2
Kawhi,
years ago.
we're in a weird situation. If Kawhi PG are in, if everyone was healthy, I don't reckon the Suns are the best team in the West. I talk about
They're
the Nuggets.
so good though.
I know, but if
They're
the Lakers
so
didn't make
good.
stupid decisions, if the Clippers were healthy,
They
and
did.
if the
They're
Nuggets
not.
were healthy,
They're not.
and if the Mavs didn't make stupid
They
decisions,
did.
I reckon as good as this whole Suns fairy tale story has been, they're not like one of the best teams we've ever seen.
No one is.
Rewind it literally to last year.
Milwaukee's not one of the best
Nets.
teams we've ever
The
seen.
Nets, we had one of the best teams we've ever seen.
No,
And
we
then-
didn't. We had the best 3 players combined probably we've ever seen.
If they were healthy, they were winning the championship.
Probably.
They were the best offense ever, like by the numbers in their 16 games together. And
Chris Paul at number 8. That's disrespectful.
anyway, I can't help it.
He went to the Clippers, turned that franchise around. Went to Houston, went to Game
But
7
right
in the Western
now-
Conference Finals.
But
Or
this is
second round,
right
whatever it was.
now.
Then he went to OKC, who was meant to be last in the league. He was meant to be bought out and not playing at all.
I
So
know, but
and they made the playoffs.
I know.
Then he goes to Phoenix, takes him to the finals.
Yeah. But there's always a ceiling to this. He
Okay.
does nothing wrong. Anyway.
My number 8, DeJounte Murray.
Oh shit! Is this because you got killed for underrating him last time?
He's been playing really well.
Oh my god!
He's been
you
killing
must have
Boston.
some serious players missing. Holy lord! You've already okay. Go. You must have some serious guys missing.
Just, I think he's the best defensive. I thought this is going to be who you lead with before. I think he's the best defensive point guard in the NBA. Drew, they defend differently.
Yeah.
I'd still put Marcus Smart in that category as well, but Drew Holiday is obviously a lot stockier and can switch on to bigger guys more. But DeJounte definitely pressures ball handlers more.
I thought he's overrated as a defender.
He's overrated as a defender in terms of where they put him a few years ago. Nowadays, when he made that all-defensive first team,
Yeah. It
And
was
he-
second team actually.
Was it?
I went and looked at that.
that still pisses me off.
Your dialogue last time, and you got killed on TikTok about this,
Man,
was
I've
that
grown.
now he's overrated because he's doing more on offense, and that's tiring him on defense. And people are still talking about him now as if he was.
Are you one of the fans that call out everything?
No, but I'm just checking in on
This
this.
is what happens when you make me do lists last minute. Well, anyway, I've surprisingly watched a lot of Spurs games, considering I barely watch anything anymore because this boy works. Gotta hate it. But fuck me, those games against Boston, especially this year, he's killed us.
He's good. You
Right.
need to take back what you just said last time.
Killed us. But, and it depends what you're looking for in a defensive point guard as well.
Yeah.
But like, good luck setting up your offense. You know, you get the ball up in a few seconds, and you've got 18 seconds on the shot clock getting your offense. He brings that down to 16 seconds every time.
Yeah.
He's just hounding you relentlessly, and his offense is fucking great this year.
Yeah. Okay.
What's he averaging at the moment? 28 and 9. 9 assists as well.
Yeah, but the Spurs aren't special.
Yeah.
Anyway, number 7, reluctantly, Trae Young for me. Fuck.
How have you got him in 7?
I really don't. Everyone should know by now. I really don't rate this guy, but I can't deny it. He's a really. I always say it. I will give you that he's a good passer.
He's averaging 28 points and 9
Yeah,
assists.
fuck, I don't give a fuck about this shit. I don't give a fuck about a lot of this shit. There's a ceiling to it with him as well.
Do you see what he did to your team last year?
No, I told you again. It's not him. That wasn't him.
What did he average in the playoffs
We
last
shot
year?
ourselves in the foot. I
He
don't
still
know.
was averaging like 35 points a game.
Not against us.
No, 20, 28, 29.
Got to be less even. Anyway, I don't love him, but he's 7. He's better than CP3 apparently.
Damian Lillard at number 7 for me. He's hard to put in here at the moment because he's having such a down year. He's been injured.
He was shit and then injured, but he's right in the maybe just at the beginning of the twilight but he's right in the middle of his prime. Once he comes back, like next year, he's actually scheduled to come back soon, maybe. But once he comes back next year, he's better than
What
this.
he was producing this year though.
Yeah.
But I could have like what he's doing this year is probably lower than 7. But
Yeah.
But we know he can be top 4.
Yeah.
So I just didn't know where to put him, and 7 felt like a nice safe number. I don't need to say anymore. It's Damian Lillard.
Yeah, that's why. So obviously the way I'm talking, you can tell I've got him higher. So I've got him at 6, right? I've got him at 6.
Yeah.
Damian Lillard at 6. The reason, so I don't love Trae Young, and the reason why I've got him at higher than Chris Paul, even though Chris Paul is a way better defender than Damian Lillard, even at this point in his career. And even though Chris Paul does more for playmaking and setting up the team and stuff like that and never making mistakes, if I'm taking one of them right now, I'm taking Dame.
Really?
Are you not?
No.
Ah.
Chris Paul comfortably over Dame.
Oh. All right. Yeah, so I've got Dame at 6.
I've got CP3 at 6. So there's the comfortably over Dame.
Just above, yeah. So, no, I just think that, yeah, I've said it. As good as CP3 is, there's a ceiling to it. If Dame was on the Suns right now, and he wasn't injured, and he wasn't having his crappy injury year, right?
Suns aren't better.
They might not have a better regular season record, but they'd have a better shot in the playoffs.
CP3's teams have done so much better in the playoffs than Lillard's teams have ever done.
Yes, because Lillard's team has always been shit, and they've been lagging on it, and now they know.
Do you remember not long ago he got swept by the Pelicans? And everyone was giving him shit. Like, he's got these big moments, but overall his playoffs have been pretty
If
average.
Damian Lillard had Devin Booker, Jay Crowder, Mikal Bridges,
I
and
hate Jay Crowder.
DeAndre Ayton.
I hate Jay Crowder. Just hearing his name.
If
pisses
he
me off.
had those players, he would be. They would be even better.
No.
They may not be
Refuse
as
to
all
believe it.
cohesive and all this
Refuse to
regular
believe
season stuff, but in the playoffs,
Because you know Ayton's not getting the ball.
who
Ayton's not getting the ball as much.
Dame can do pick and roll.
Bridges isn't getting the ball as much in catch and shoot threes.
Yes,
Like, it's the whole
but what matters
it's
more
the machine.
in playoffs?
CP3 gets
What
the
matters
cogs
more in
turning.
the playoffs? ISO.
Not to that extent.
He does,
No,
to
and
that
not
extent.
not with Damian Lillard's defense either.
Anyway, if the Suns don't reach what a lot of people are thinking they're going to reach, I want everyone to come, because I know I'm going to get killed for this. I want everyone to come and apologise to me for it. At this moment, CP3 can't be put
So if he
that
takes
high.
him to the Western Conference Finals, you reckon
If he
they've
takes us to the
underachieved?
finals. If he takes them to the finals. Because PG and Kawhi, right now, we have a capitulated NBA. If he
Especially
in
if
the
he
West.
goes to the finals and loses, you reckon CP3 is not that good?
I reckon he's not as good as
Oh,
above
fuck me.
8th. That's my point.
How many of these people in the top 10 have gone to the finals before?
Okay. No, you're not listening. Capitulated NBA. If PG and Kawhi are in, Suns don't even get past them last
Yeah,
year.
it doesn't matter.
It does matter.
That doesn't make a player worse, though.
But I'm telling you that his ceiling is below the Clippers of last year. They made the finals, great. But it's because Kawhi went down. You know what I'm sort of saying?
But you're not rating against him against Kawhi. This doesn't change
But the
CP3's skill
Suns,
level.
so
I'm not rating the Sun. I'm not
so-
rating him on the Suns
so the
going to the finals
narrative
last
is-
year.
the
I'm
narr-
rating him on how good the Suns are currently.
Oh, okay. So if you don't want to bring up last year, currently Kawhi and PG aren't playing.
Yeah, and the Phoenix Suns have lost, what, 10 games this season?
I know. The Milwaukee Bucks won 100 games a couple seasons ago, and they got bounced 2 years in a row by Toronto and Miami. Finishing first, Philly got
Yeah.
done by Atlanta. Finishing first, regular season crap is nothing.
CP3, no matter where he goes, is winning basketball, and he's done his whole career.
I know. But there's a ceiling.
Okay, I've got CP3 at 6, so we've spoken about him enough.
Number 5 for me is Kyrie Irving. And he could be higher. There's a couple players that may be questionable for people here, but he could be higher at his best. But I don't know what to do. I don't know what to say, really,
You know what? I left him out on purpose. On purpose,
That's
though.
who you left out. That's who you left out.
Because you don't know what's up. If we're talking this year only, someone that plays half the games,
Dropped 38 points to you yesterday.
if someone's playing half the games, they're not in the top 10.
Oh, come on.
They're not in the top 10.
No. And I forgot to mention that at the top. He's actually they're gonna lift it for the playoffs.
Supposedly.
They're gonna lift it for the playoffs.
But right now, if we're talking this year only, Kyrie does not deserve it over any of those players. We know he's better than them.
I should have clarified. Current means now who you taking on your team. They're about to lift the shit.
Fuck him. He doesn't deserve it.
That's a shit reason to have him out.
He does not deserve it.
Anyway, I have those reasons and that makes me put him in 5. But you can't leave him out. He could be top 3.
He doesn't deserve it.
That's who you left out, and you put in DeJounte. All right, go. Who's your 5?
This was a weird one for me because he's better than 5. Down here, we'll see what actually happens. Is James Harden.
Okay, who could you possibly have? Oh, no, don't. You haven't said Trae Young yet. Don't. My eyes are hurting.
This season so far, James Harden has not been better than the 4 players above that I haven't said. But with that being in mind, I don't think Harden is worse than them. But so far this season, he just hasn't cared enough.
So what do you feel? Okay, so care.
Yeah,
what do you feel about these first 2 games in Philly?
Oh, he's been incredible.
First player in NBA history to score 25 points, 10 assists. In his first 2 games on the team.
Yeah, didn't know that one.
So what now?
Oh, give it like 3 or 4 weeks, and he's.
But this is I said to you before the damn podcast. I said, who's the best? Imagine you have to know what you believe they can get back to, and that goes for Harden, Kyrie, Lillard, all being above CP3
right now. And these guys genuinely have earned the right to be above him. They are playing better than he has this season.
Yeah, but what about what I just said?
But even then,
about believing what he can get back to. He's better than at least...
They're playing better than he did last year.
Last year, he was an MVP candidate at the start.
James Harden.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Remember?
And then what happened?
But this is what I'm saying.
James Harden... Well, keep going. Because these guys genuinely have been better than him this season.
Yes,
because going into the playoffs...
he hasn't cared.
Going into the playoffs...
No.
I don't know how I feel, but...
You don't know because he should be higher. As in higher than Trae. For fuck's sake.
Keep going.
Anyway, my number 4 is Harden. Who's your number 4?
Ja.
So your number 5 was... Yeah. Your number 5 was Harden.
4 is Ja.
4's Ja. Okay. Did I say Harden? Did I say that I have Harden?
He's not your number 4.
Oh, yeah. So my number 4
So you're giving me shit and I've got him 1 spot lower.
You've got... But he's better than Trae Young is my problem.
We'll see.
He's 100% better than Trae Young. So you got Ja at number...
4.
What? Do you think Ja's not better than Trae Young? Is Trae Young on the list? Because I hope he's not.
He's on the list.
What? No. I thought we had an understanding. I thought we had an agreement about Ja.
Do you know how good Trae Young is?
I know, but he's not better than Ja Morant.
He's been playing better than Ja Morant this year.
Oh.
Definitely. And Ja's got the narrative. The Grizzlies are winning, but...
Was that a bad narrative?
If Trae was on the Grizzlies, they'd be winning as well. And I love Ja. I'm not trying to disrespect Ja. He's, 23 years old?
Young.
And he's...
Yeah.
When you said young, I thought you were talking about Trae, and I was very confused then. Look, he's phenomenal. And, I would love to see MVP in 2 years' time, sort of thing.
Oh, if he ever wins an MVP, Trae Young, I'll
no, I mean
throw up.
Ja.
Oh, sorry.
I love Ja. But
Ja will.
I don't think Ja's been better than the 3 guys I have above.
Anyway, my number 3 is Ja Morant. He's better than Trae Young. My God. By 4 spots. Anyway, mate, this guy, I don't even love, so I came into the NBA in 2012. I love players that shoot, I think Ja is turning into my first player that I really am going to be in love with.
Tell you what I can't wait for? When the NBA turns on him. It'll happen. It happens with every superstar.
What, like Westbrook? Because
No, but just like every young player, everyone loves.
oh yeah.
And then it's going to happen.
yeah,
Because he's going to start beating teams.
there will be people, of course.
And he's going to piss people off.
That's right.
And in like, I reckon there's like 3 more years of this honeymoon, 2 more years of this honeymoon phase. And then he's going to knock someone out of the playoffs and people are going to fucking hate him. Soon. like when Embiid started.
Yeah,
People loved him.
You've talked about this before.
And then it's the same with any young superstar.
Yeah.
LeBron was the same.
You've got to have something about you,
Yeah.
though. And there's not an obvious thing about Jar that's like hateable.
No, not yet though.
Not yet.
And that's the thing. So he will do something eventually. And I love watching this happen in the NBA. Like, do you remember, like, even Kevin Durant, that's a fucking easy pick.
Yeah.
James Harden, everyone loved. Westbrook, everyone loved to begin with. He was just crazy, just athletic guy, just never gave up on plays. Always went 110%.
Yeah.
And the tide always turns on superstars.
Yep. All right. Well, yeah, for me, Ja Morant is unbelievable at the moment and he's actually been better than my number 2, in my opinion, this season. I would rate him higher this season, but as I said, the way I made this is who I believe I know can reach a higher height, and that's my number 2. So who's your number 3? Trae Young, surely. He can't be higher than 3.
Do you know how close these were?
Oh, my God.
Trae Young is number 3.
Oh, my God. Damn. Go. Talk about how good he is.
He's good. 28 points, 9 assists. He is probably, just off the top of my head, I think he's doing the most on offense this year in terms of like one-man band.
Yeah.
He has to do everything. And he's still getting his own, and his teammates let him down. And that's all it is this year.
Yeah.
He is doing everything you can possibly ask from a point guard. 28 points a game and 9 assists on good efficiency.
Westbrook's done that in his shit years.
Doesn't turn the ball over like Westbrook.
Yeah. Anyway, I don't know. I just don't see it with him. I just don't see it ever being meaningful.
What are your thoughts on Luka?
All right, so Luka's my number 2.
And do you know why I asked this? If you exclude their rookie seasons, because Luka came in a lot better than Trae did.
Yeah.
Trae Young's been statistically the better player since that first season.
Statistically. I knew you were going to say
by quite a long way.
Yeah. I think that Luka is, here we go, 5 spots ahead of Trae Young. That's what I think. I think that Luka Doncic is the real... No, it's not bias. It's not about last season.
There's your bias.
It's not about anything. It's about... I just don't think he's the real deal. I don't rate...
Trae's doing more than Luka this year. He's scoring more. He's passing more.
Numbers. Watch the games, which, you do. Watch the games.
Look at the efficiency.
Luka. You've got Luka ahead of Trae.
Yeah.
You've got Luka ahead of Trae. What am I even saying? Luka is the
Not
real
6
deal.
spots.
Luka is... Okay. Well, for me, Luka is the real deal. I reckon Trae Young... Let me say this, right? I don't think that Trae Young can be the best player on a championship team. Whereas... And I don't think right now CP3 can either. Is sort of my point.
I think he is the best player on Phoenix.
CP3?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would go that. And that's pretty much my point. What I was saying before, that's my point. I don't think right now CP3 can be the best player on a championship team. And Trae Young, I don't think can ever be. Luka can be. Harden iffy. In his prime. Not now.
Harden definitely was good enough to be the best player on the championship team.
Yeah,
They were the worst.
Playoff stuff was a bit weird, though.
They were the worst, probably the worst playoff, actually not the worst playoff game I've ever seen in terms of being reffed. That was 2002 Game 6 Lakers versus Sacramento. But the game where Houston missed 27 threes, that was the worst ref game I've ever seen in my life.
But they did miss 27 threes.
But there was 2 that counted after the whistles that they called on the floor that were in motion.
Yeah.
And there were so many things that led to this. Anyway, they should have won that game. Even if they missed 27 threes in a row and they got called for these fouls and whatnot, they win that game.
Yeah.
They win a championship.
Yeah. So there you go.
I think if you lose in a conference finals, especially in 7, I don't think people can say you're not good enough to be the best player on a championship team. Because you've done that essentially. It's the margin for error is so small in that point. It's like one slight little niggle to the Warriors and Houston won the championship that year.
Yeah. Yeah, so, well, then, let's agree then. Harden could, so some of these are going to be past, some of these are going to be future. Harden could have been the best player on a championship team. I might say that, could Kyrie?
No.
No? Okay, well, then the cutoffs there are after 4 for me. Ja in the future can be, in my opinion. Luka right now can be. And then someone else up the top can be.
Has been. Is maybe potentially now.
Has been. Has he been, though?
Yes, definitely has been.
Oh, actually, no. Yeah, so he was. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it was all 3.
That cutoff
all
underneath.
3 he was.
That cutoff underneath is very,
Whereas I think Trae Young can be, but it'd be
If you don't think
very
that
well
Kyrie or
organised.
Lillard can't be.
Trae Young is better offensively than both of them.
Okay, but if you think that they can't be, Kyrie and Lillard, and come on, Kyrie at his best.
Trae Young is better than Kyrie.
Nah.
Yes.
No.
You're too obsessed with the flashy handles of Kyrie.
No, it's not that. Kyrie, kills a game for you. Trae Young doesn't, apart from all the Westbrook numbers, great. Numbers are great. What's actually happening in the game? I don't know how, I don't have the basketball technicalities all the time, but Trae Young's numbers don't always end up with winning. You know what I'm saying?
Since he came to the league, he's got the most 30 in 10 games. I know you're going to say that's numbers.
But that's what I'm saying.
But
I've never felt Trae Young, Knicks don't count.
This is what
I've
I
never
say,
felt Trae Young win a game like these guys have above him.
This is what I said at the very start of the season, essentially. Every single year, people do this, where Devin Booker was an empty stats guy. Zach LaVine was an empty stats guy. If you're doing it on good efficiency, you're not there's no such thing as an empty stats player if you're shooting the ball efficiently. It doesn't, there's no physical way that it makes sense because you're scoring better than the average person does, both points per game and efficiency, and he's an elite passer. How is he negatively affecting his team? Obviously, he can't defend as well as other people.
He's not
do.
Negatively, but I don't know. I do believe in the bad stats, good stats, bad team, and I don't know why it happens, but it does. Why it's a thing is because it does happen.
It's a thing when it's a poorly constructed roster, and it's like, hey, you've got talent, just do what you want. Michael Carter Williams-esque.
What?
Michael Carter Williams, perfect example of good stats, bad team, not being a good player. He won Rookie of the Year. He almost had a quadruple-double his first game, and people were high on him. And there was the advanced analytics crew that were like, he's not good. Look at everything he's doing. He's not good. He's shooting 32% from 3, 36% from the field or whatever it was. And about a year after that, he was almost out of the league. And it's just sort of bounced from team to team to team.
I reckon I'm just going to go out there and say that I reckon there would be some advanced stats on my side with this Trae argument.
Trae Young's rated number 2 in the league in player efficiency at the moment.
Nah, fucking
Advanced stats love him.
Let's make a bet right now.
But what it is, I'm going to a bit longer. If you're on a shit team and you've got the keys to the offense and you can put as many shots up as you want and you do it and you score 26 points a game, but you're shooting 42% from the field, that's when it's empty stats. If you're still doing it on better than league efficiency, it's not. The people around you is what.
There's
letting you
things
down.
outside of the numbers. I hate to say that, but there's things outside of the numbers.
Of course
It's
there
less
is.
pressure, right? That's the main thing, right? That's the main thing.
Every team's focused on trying to stop him and him only.
I know, but there's still less pressure in terms of just the day to day, literally everything.
In the playoffs last year, he showed up when no one on your team did. He went to New York and was bowing to the crowd and telling him to shush.
The Knicks. I said Knicks don't count. Look at that.
That is the most pressure situation you can go in.
Nah.
And then he went to Philly, and what did he do in a Game 7 in Philly?
He didn't do much. He wasn't.
He played better than anyone for Philly.
No, well, he still didn't. No, he didn't do what this stuff is. He didn't do. I talked about how, and it showed once he got to actually the Bucks. The NBA of this year, last year, injuries and that stuff like that, and blah blah. We haven't had our huge dominance up the top. KD's the Nets injuries, the Clippers injuries, the collapse, the bubble, the collapse of the Warriors in 2019. I know this happens in seasons, but if you actually have Houston Golden State on one side and you have LeBron and the Cavs on the other side, these Suns,
Yep.
and these Hawks are not ever going near those three sides. I know that some of the best sides ever, but you know what I'm sort of saying? Or the Spurs. These were real teams. Go. You're looking up some Trae Young
Last
playoff
year.
stats. Yeah, go.
Against Philly, he averaged 29 points a game and 11 assists.
Yeah.
And you reckon he didn't do much?
He's not doing much this year in the numbers that you bring up.
Then against the Bucks, where you said he didn't perform well, 28-7.
It's all
First round against the Knicks, 29-10.
It's not that he's going to get his numbers. I'm sort of saying that. But he's still not and this is my whole point. He can score 1,000 points a game, and I'll still be like, he's not actually making them win.
Curry won. Let's go home.
I can't believe we do this every time.
Yeah.
I can't believe you love Luka, you love Ja. I can't believe you put Trae in.
Not as biased as you. No. You have Trae on at 6th.
You had Tatum over Embiid.
Let's go home. I'm done.
Anyway, that was.
Can I hand him a 2 weeks resignation?
That was this week's version of us arguing on the Bronx Cheer
We're a
basketball
fucking
show.
married couple, aren't we? Jesus Christ.
Mate, this is why I've got you on, because of me and you, we think so.
Oh, I fucking hate you.
So opposite.
Genuinely.
Oh, okay.
I can't even fucking hold
You
this anymore.
just grabbing the microphone.
I need to lean down a bit. I'm gassed.
If you're new to the show, hit that subscribe button, that notifications bell. Give us a 5-star rating on the audio apps. Any last words?
No, I've got nothing. Go fuck yourself. That's it.
Business end of the season coming up for the NBA. Let's wrap it there. All right. Thank you for watching and listening. We'll talk to you next week.
But he's sticking you and taking all your money.